prominent doctor from Plymouth has died in a plane crash. Authorities say that the body of 65-year-old Thomas Stillwell was recovered from the wreckage of a single-engine plane that crashed Wednesday near the Moose Lake, Carlton County Airport. The plane was supposed to land at the Crystal Airport, but it never made it to its destination. Delane Cleveland joins us live at the Crystal Airport with more. Delane?
Hi, Shannon. A single-engine plane was scheduled to land here at the Crystal Airport at 5:15 Wednesday afternoon, but that arrival never happened. Instead, authorities recovered the plane at around 7 o'clock Thursday morning, along with the body of Thomas Stillwell, a urologist who's been practicing in Minnesota since 1991. Authorities from the Carlton County Sheriff's Office say that he was the pilot of that plane. The Federal Aviation Administration describes the plane as a Mooney M20J. The aircraft is owned by Club Cherokee, which lists the Crystal Airport as its address. According to Club Cherokee's website, they operate a handful of private aircraft for its members, and they describe the plane as being a, quote, Porsche in the sky. Authorities say the plane was found in a river a half-mile west of the Moose Lake, Carlton County Airport. Now, we reached out to Club Cherokee this morning, but the message was not immediately returned. Meanwhile, the National Transportation Safety Board will be in charge of the investigation regarding that plane crash. Reporting live in Crystal, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
All right, thank you, Delane. A significant donation offer could help add a signature piece of equipment to what the City of Crystal considers to be the centerpiece of the Becker Park makeover. That would be a new 14,000 square foot playground. Here's what it will look like. The playground will cost $627,000, and we learned just this week that St. Therese Senior Living will donate $10,000 to help with the potential purchase of a we-go-round. The $28,000 piece of equipment has been a big hit at other newly renovated parks. Construction on the Becker Park makeover has started. The entire project is budgeted for $3 million and is expected to be complete by next summer. This is Hydrant Flushing Week in Brooklyn Park, an annual checkup that serves an important purpose. Rain or shine, workers were out testing hydrants in neighborhoods throughout the city. This is being done to make sure every hydrant is in working order in case of a fire. There are more than 3,000 public fire hydrants in Brooklyn Park.
What we really want to do is have the residents avoid doing laundry during this week. For sometimes the brown water will get into the homes and stain your laundry. So other than that, just be patient and we'll be done in no time.
Hydrant flushing also gets rid of sediment to maintain water clarity and quality in distribution pipes. Watson says if you see brown water after hydrant flushing, just run your cold water for a few minutes until it clears up. Parent involvement is common at the elementary school level, but that involvement often drops off as students get older. In today's School Spotlight, reporter Meredith Hackler shows us how a new organization is helping engage students and parents in middle school.
Family game nights like this one are fun for parents and students, but they wouldn't be possible without Maple Grove Middle School's parents and community together, otherwise known as PACT.
The mission is really to make students and families feel included, to make sure that there's a diverse voice behind the scenes and making sure that everybody feels welcome and listened to or heard when they're at school.
PACT is the first of its kind in the Osseo School District. The organization acts somewhat like a PTO. They host fundraisers and community building events to show students they care about their future and what's going on in school.
This is a time when kids are trying to pull away, and developmentally that's what we want them to do, but they need their parents more than ever. And so it's really, really important that the parents stay engaged with their kids.
The organization has only been around since fall of 2018, but administrators say they already see a positive impact.
Big benefit that I see too is that I have a cadre of parents that are here a lot. And so as they take a look at the fabulous students we have at Maple Grove Middle School, they know that this is a very safe, welcoming environment, and they're getting the positive messages out about what's going on at this school, which is fabulous.
And parents involved say it's bringing them closer to their students.
My daughter specifically, she's a 7th grader. She enjoys seeing me in the school, so while I don't have to follow her around, she knows that I'm here.
PACT hopes to keep engaging parents and students and create positive change.
I just hope that people can really know that middle schoolers are lovely. And you know, it's a time of life when it is hard, but I hope that they also know that parents and family coming together, that we can really make a difference in kids' lives.
In Maple Grove, Meredith Hackler, CCX News.
Beginning this Friday, Gallery 5004 in Robbinsdale will be featuring a collection of one of Minnesota's renowned artists of the 20th century.
Bernie Quick is one of the most beloved artists, Minnesota artists from the 20th century. He impacted just numerous aspiring artists over many years, primarily by founding the Grand Marais Art Colony, which is the longest living art colony in Minnesota, survives to this day and is thriving, and he started it way back in 1947.
Quick had a long career teaching at the Minneapolis College of Art and Design, and his works are displayed all throughout the state. One of his most unique items on display is a 13.5-foot by 20-foot mural. He was commissioned to paint it back in 1955 for the Minnesota Mutual Life Insurance Company in honor of its 75th anniversary and new company headquarters. Gallery 5004 hosts an opening reception of the Bernie Quick exhibit this Friday, and we will leave you with a sneak peek of what you'll see.
Former Park Center High School and University of Iowa football standout Amani Hooker is taking his first steps toward an NFL career. Hooker was selected in the 4th round by the Tennessee Titans with the 116th overall pick. Titans traded up to select Hooker, a safety who ran a 4.48 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine. We caught up with Amani before he left for Nashville to settle in for off-season workouts. He talked about the draft experience and being picked by the Titans.
Yeah, it was nervous. You know, I was sitting there watching every single pick. I wasn't sure how early they called, so you're just sitting there like, all right, next pick's in, so probably not this team. So you're just looking forward to, you know, which teams you think is going to be and all that stuff. So it was nerve-wracking, but I mean, you got your family there, and it is an exciting time. I was excited because I went on a visit there early or late April, and I got to meet all the staff and got to see my first time being in Nashville. Got to see the city, and it was awesome. I mean, fell in love with the coaches. I mean, they trusted me. Now it's just, you know, getting ready to, you know, learn, get ready to get down there and leave next Thursday, and you know, it'd be exciting to start practicing, you know, on an NFL team, on an NFL practice facility, and all that stuff.
The Titans hold the first of their organized team activity sessions May 20th and 21st. Amani says they told them they'll use him as a nickelback and safety. Minnesota's opening weekend for walleye fishing begins at 12:01 a.m. Saturday. Weather conditions have not been ideal for this spring, and it could be a slow start to the season. That's one of the topics Terry Tuma and I covered in advance of this year's opener.
A lot of boats have not come out of storage yet. In fact, we picked up our boats, and they said only a handful of boats have been picked up from winter storage, and this is a little bit ago, and it's all weather dominated. There's no question about that. I talked to several anglers, and some of them are not going out this year. One is just because of the traffic issues, the construction, and then of course the weather conditions.
It's been a very cool spring so far, and the harsh winter. What does that mean to, as far as where walleyes are going to be this time of year, especially this year?
Well, it's really going to be a big factor with water temperatures, John. These fish are going to be, generally speaking, they're going to be in the post-spawn period, and post-spawn is really described as a resting period for the walleye, both the females and the males. And if it's at the beginning of the post-spawn period, it's going to be a resting period. As those days progress, then they'll start to put the feeding bag on. So it's going to be really related to water temperatures and weather conditions.
This year, what baits are going to work best? Which lures?
Generally speaking, I've had a lot of those questions. Jig and a minnow, of course, is always productive. Light bait rigs is also very, very successful. And we should never, ever be afraid of trolling crankbaits, John. But when we're talking about baits and so forth, you know, we get so hung up on, shall we call it, the general bait, a fathead minnow. And yes, that can be productive, but in certain parts of the state, it's going to be definitely shiners. There's no question about that. We should not be afraid of using leeches. We had some great success with leeches and open opening weekend.
It's a cool weekend, but there's still fish to be caught, right?
Oh, no question about it. Yes, we can possibly anticipate a real tough bite in some parts of the state, and I think some parts of the state we're going to have a fantastic bite. But you can still catch these fish. We should always remember the walleyes are not doing the same thing on every body of water, and they're not doing everything on the same body of water. So one spot can be hot, spot can be dead. So here again, it's going to be a little bit of versatility and patience and paying attention to what we're doing.
And Terry will be back with his open water tips for the summer in 2 weeks. Section team tournaments get started next week for local boys tennis teams. Here's a look at the state rankings. Mounds View is the top-ranked team in Class AA, followed by Edina and Blake. Eastview is number 4, and Wayzata is at number 5. Trojans will be the favorite in Section 5AA. Despite a losing record that includes several losses to Class AA teams, Breck is ranked 4th in Class A, behind Mounds Park Academy, Rochester Lourdes, and St. Paul Academy. Thief River Falls rounds out the top 5 in Class A. That's a look at sports. Shannon has more news after this.